If you're interested in fully utilising your neurodivergent team and making sure that they are performing at their best and fully motivated, then listen up. We have an interest-based nervous system because we have a genetic lack of dopamine. And that means that we run behaviors that seem different from other neurotypes because we are kind of hunting for that dopamine. And this is something that you can really leverage in your business to your advantage. So what we tend to do, it's not the same for everyone. I'm just making generalizations, but at the same time, I'm talking about my experience in corporate and the experience of a lot of other neurodivergent people that I've spoken to. Is we looked at every area of our life and we kind of we decide how satisfying it is on how much dopamine it provides our nervous system. So for work, we obviously want a dopamine hit. Now, your normal job, so a job description is a piece of paper with here's the tasks that you have to do in your role. Boom, 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 right? We crack through those, and we are really creative thinkers, really strategic thinkers, and we often learn how to do those pretty quickly. We get on top of it, and at first it's really interesting, giving us lots of dopamine, and then we will actually, a few weeks in, kind of like, okay, I know how to do this now, and now it's getting repetitive. What we will tend to do in an encouraging workplace, and if we're kind of bought into the culture of the job and the role, is we will start to look for ways to streamline the processes. And we do this because that then generates capacity for us to do something new that might promote or that might produce more dopamine for us. So just to give my time at Macmillan Publishers as an example. So I was PA to a director to start with. It was just a part-time role. It was while I was having kids. And I very quickly streamlined the processes so that it worked in a way that made sense to me. And my director was very pleased with this. And I said, well, now I've got the capacity, he's going to have something else to do. And she said, okay, well, could you take over recruitment for me and also day-to-day management of any temps that we've got on the team? So I said yes. So went away, did that, enjoyed that for a while. That was great. And then because I streamlined that process, again, secretly hunting for a way to find capacity to make more dopamine, I then went back to her and said, okay, can I do something else now? And she said, well, okay, you are a PA, but obviously this is a publishing house. How about learning copy editing and proofreading? And so then I was really stepping outside my PA role and into the editorial side of the business. So I was like, great, yeah, I'll learn how to do that. So I did that. And before I knew it, I was writing blogs about the meanings of words, because it was a dictionary department. And I was also interested in, they were launching at the time the online version of the dictionary. And I was interested in the beta testing process because I am a mismatcher. So again, I went to my director and said, can I learn how to do beta testing? And she was like, yeah, great. Okay, go for it. So I learned how to do that, became a beta tester. Again, learned how to do that, made sure I had time to do that, again, had more capacity. And so then after that, I took on the role. I ended up hiring the actors to do the voice pronunciation, so little recordings you listen to, if you want to know how a word's pronounced. But I had to learn the international pronunciation alphabet in order to be able to make sure they were giving the right prongs for things. So I learned that, and then I would go down to London a few times a year and to a recording studio, and they would record the prongs and things like that. So I ended up with a role that, I was the only person in the organisation where they had to sort of change my job title to say PA to a director and copy editor in dictionaries. So I had that kind of hybrid title, and I wasn't being paid anymore, and I was still only doing this in 3 and eventually 4 days a week. But I was incredibly satisfied and motivated, and I felt recognised and valued. And yeah, I was super productive because all of the tasks were producing dopamine. And even in a job, I've had other roles where, all of the tasks were actually fairly boring. At least having a variety of those tasks that went into different areas, they weren't all kind of one job, kept me motivated, kept me interested. It provided enough dopamine. So just an invitation to any managers out there to maybe have a conversation with neurodivergent members of your team. Are you feeling fully motivated, fully utilized? Is there anything else you've seen in this business that you might like to learn how to do? Can't necessarily promise you, promotion or more money or whatever. Often we just want it for the dopamine hit, seriously. Like, this is an amazing hack for you managers. and we do want to feel fulfilled. We do want to feel utilized, as does everybody. And we do want to progress, but that progression isn't always upwards. It's not necessarily wanting to be a manager. It's more about wanting to become an expert in many areas, because again, this is all dopamine producing for us. So we might want to sort of progress outwards rather than upwards. So yeah, just have a think about how you can kind of move beyond the limitations of a printed job description, and make sure that everybody in your business is fully utilized. It doesn't matter what the role is called. It's about fully utilizing the skill sets that exist in your team.